Final ending of taking a chance on myself. This woman I married, who turns out did not want commitment and transparency and clearly wanted independence and privacy, is now compromising her individual freedoms she wanted so badly, coming back to me asking for a free ride. Who is these women? For the last 5 months she has had what she wanted. She's been on her own. Now she thinks I owe her and is trying to kick me out of the house I've been paying for with no assistance from her. I just don't get it. She is 9 years younger than me, 31 years old. She is a perfect example of what her generation is all about. The Generation Y. What can you do for me? I respected her decision to leave. I respected her choices. I wished her to find what she wanted on her own terms. I wanted her out of my life because I don't want what she wants. Our marriage was a mistake. She has truly revealed herself now. Her desire for independence is not independence. It's a taker mentality. She is a sponge. It's an unusual situation. Usually, the cheating spouse leaves and doesn't come back. Most cheaters know the gig is up. This one thinks she is still owed something. I cannot wait to put her behind me. She is a piece of trash with no fortitude to her own values. I don't know what her business looks like, totally. I did look at what she sent in on the discovery. My Addie hasn't had time to look it over yet, but from what I read she only sent in a copy of the checking account associated with the business. It stops in August of 2018. There was a $6,000 deposit put it in. I believe it's not enough information to prove she isn't making a profit. I think she took out a loan and paid it almost completely off with the profits, but I'll need more information to prove it. She hasn't given us any accounting material that shows the money coming and going, just a checking account record. Taxes are to be filed soon and we will get to look at that too. I will likely have to hire a court-appointed accountant to go in and look thoroughly. She claims that her and OM are just friending and refers to him as her business partner only. The bad news: we are not going to court for sole possession of the house. The lawyers have compromised. She is moving back in until one of us can get a loan without the other's name on the loan to refinance. We have 6 months. If neither of us can do it, we will be forced to sell and take a bath in the debt occurred. I am intending on moving to Virginia as I mentioned. I do not care who gets the financing first. I'll keep it and rent it out until the market gets better or the equity improves. If she can get a cosigner to refinance with her, great. I just don't want to take a bath in the debt if we are forced to sell it. I make too much money to file a total bankruptcy. Chapter 13, a promise to repay is the best I could do. I don't want to do it and I am doing everything I can to keep my financial life in order. I included a few things in the stipulated order. The most important one is that the legal document states she is solely responsible for her car that has late payments since October and close to being repossessed. I can turn this into the credit bureau and banks and it will remove the strike from my credit report. It will take a month or two to make this happen, but it is the main reason why I can't refinance today. Also, if she gets antsy and takes my car, which isn't in any financial trouble with the bank, she will be in contempt of court, told to return it and be told to leave the house. I have created extra measures to ensure she can't get it. She has to pay half of every expense with the house, including the mortgage. If she doesn't, she will be in contempt of court and be asked to leave. All requests for alimony and court fees will not be applied in or decided until the final hearing of the divorce. I also read in the discovery the text messages I was sending to her while we were in that strange hysterical bonding phase. I was at the time trying desperately for her to stop seeing him and convince her to have a child with me, to bring her back to the way she was when we first married. As I read through the text, she made cliff notes when I am mentioning having a child with her. She wrote things like obsessed and creepy. She included letters written to her friend telling her how unhappy she was. I wish I knew. I thought we dealt with this and was behind us after MC. I was happy. She also contacted my first ex-wife. We were married 9 months, a total mistake. Number 1 didn't answer her question, except that she agreed I was controlling. Number 1 was also a cheater and didn't really like to be contacted by number 2. Of course, number 1 didn't say anything about cheating on me. All this information just looks like she is still trying to justify her cheating. She just doesn't realize she could have left before she cheated. At least now I can see the light at the end of tunnel after being in the dark for the last 5 months. The good news is that I might be able to see my dog. I won't be home much. I am driving over the road, so contact should be minimal, and the extra money will help with lawyer costs. I have healed enough from her actions that I believe it's all business at this point. I want nothing to do with her. She has truly revealed who she is now. I wish her the best in finding what makes her happy, and once this over I don't want to hear anything about her again. Wish me luck, folks. It's almost over. A week later, I've tried on a number of occasions to talk to my ex-wife. When she showed up at the house, my friend who was staying there called me and told me she was there. I tried to call to see what the hell she was doing. I mentioned this in the previous post. She told me then that she wasn't picking up her phone to talk to me because she wants everything documented. She told me this through a text message. She's still playing the victim. We have had one conversation via text since October. I offered to pay for turning in her car, no reply. I recently told her we could rent the house out, no reply. Right now, if she has money from her business, she's just not spending it on paying her car payments on time. I'm also pretty sure I will have to get a court-ordered accountant to look more closely at her business. I am fairly certain my lawyer will agree. I read what she sent in. There are a lot of holes. Does anyone have any idea why she would press for moving back into the house? I feel like I'm going to get hit with something that I'm not prepared for. She has to pay for half of everything associated with the house, and if she doesn't, he'll easily get sole possession of it for her failing to fulfill the court order. Is she just totally stupid? What am I missing? A month later, she has moved back in. She was here when I got home. We had a conversation that let me vent how I feel about her to her without getting ugly. I am still resentful. Seeing her brought it all back up. She was only here for an hour before she left to stay with her girlfriend, or boyfriend. I still don't trust what she says while I stay here, but it was emotionally draining. I did tell her some things I probably should have left unsaid. I'm glad I got to say some of the things I said, but it gets to the point where I am just rambling to her. It stops being a conversation and turns into me just rephrasing what I've already said because she's not engaging in the conversation. I recognize it and just stop and let the silence commence. I no longer expect her to act remorseful or look for a solution because she is not and doesn't want to fix it. I told her that I slept with other women, and I told her I loved her like no other, and that this experience has left me believing I will likely never have children of my own and that women still find me attractive. I got to tell how selfish I thought she was. I got to tell her I had an STD test done after we split up. It made me realize how resentful I still am. She was sad. I reminded her I gave her a chance to make it right and she didn't take it. I told her it was a good idea for her to leave because I can't, won't, or I am unable to not say anything about what she's done. Given a few minutes of silence, I was ready to tell her how she hurt me. I can't be in the same house with her. At one point when she reached for my hand to hold and I pulled away from her, I wasn't interested in hearing what she has to say. She is toxic to me. It's a cruel experiment in life having to share this house with her. She left her job and is now a mail carrier. She paid the back bill on the electricity. I honestly forgot to pay it. I'm not here and they didn't call me, so the power was shut off. I guess she lived her in the dark for a few days until they turned it on again. She finally cashed in her $401k to pay for the share of the mortgage payment. I wish she would have used hers like I used all of mine, which is gone now, forcing us to go into modification, and the money needed to turn the power back on. The power company never called me. I didn't know it was turned off. I would have paid if I knew. I really just forgot to pay that bill. She did throw away the bad food and left our dog here to be with me. Still, I want to know details about the affair. I will never get to know, and now that it's over, it's none of my business. It sucks wondering about it. She was open to the idea of renting the house out, but she wasn't sure about it and needed to think about it. I reminded her that we will owe if we sell, regardless of a short sell or a regular sell. I offered her control of the money if it becomes a rental, and she only need to send me a check. I have one more shot at refinancing on my own, but it's a stretch. I'm going to send in the needed information for that today. If that doesn't go through, the only financial option without losing my ass is to rent it until one of us can reestablish our credit to refinance it into one of our own names. I just want to be free of it. I'll let her refinance it and sign off on selling it if I am not able to do it first. If we rent, it buys time for me to pay off debt while the mortgage is being paid, allowing me a couple of years to fix my credit, let the market get better and more equity to build in the house. I want to move and I can't yet. I want to go to my family, where I am loved. I have a nephew and a niece there I want to see grow up. There is also a beach, a place to surf, something that I truly really love to do. Once I don't have to pay for this house, I can make a career move to my field of study. I'll need to drive a truck for a while longer to pay off some debt, but soon after I will be able to redevelop myself in my field of study. I'll take a pay cut but hopefully get a nice day job with the weekends off and get out of the truck. I can't wait to get my own little apartment and reinvent myself. It's almost over. So, in a surprising turn of events, the STBX wants to keep the house. I can't refinance myself. She probably won't be able to refinance and will have to sell in a year if she can't. I'm moving out and heading for VB. The temporary setback is I'm stuck in my truck until I find a job there. As soon as I do, I can temporarily move in with family. All the utilities are switched over to her. She and the judge just need to sign off on the final divorce decree and I'm free. There's this one good thing. I'll have a lot more money. I should have my debt paid off in months rather than years. Our current court order, which expires soon, is to split all bills. I asked her to sell and I would stay until we did. She doesn't want to move. I'm not staying there until next spring when the market is good again. I guess the rest is up to God. I'm done. Weeks later. I'm bored today but excited for a number of reasons. I'm journaling. Today is a good day. I'm still in my truck today in Ottawa, IL. I am going to pack up and move my things to Virginia Beach, VA. My terminal is in KC where my car is parked, and I will have 5 or 6 days off to accomplish quite a bit. First, I have to get back to my former home and box everything of mine up. I'll need a van with a car transport, and I'll have to go to the nearest soup kitchen and pay for some cheap labor to help me load my boxes. Hopefully I can get this done in a day. There's not that much stuff. If it goes well, I'll be on the road that night and on my way. I expect 2 days of travel. That leaves day number 3 to unload my things into a storage facility with the help of my cousin. Day 4. I met a beautiful woman on Match. Hopefully I get to meet her. Holy crap. She wants what I want, kids. She's 29 and very attractive, thin petite almost. She has her crap together a lot more than I do. I hope it goes somewhere because I really like her. Day 4 could be when I then drive back to KC to start work on the 5th day, or I stay with cousin and family and relax a little. Either way, I still will have to drive some 12 miles back to KC from VA in my car. At this point on, I won't have a home. I'll be living in the truck. My company can't get me to VA for time off. There is not enough loads to get me there consistently. The scary part, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle not having a place to go on my time off. This is also when I can seriously look for work in VA. While do so, I'll be making and saving a lot of money. I will have 3 bills that I need to make a month. I'm a little worried I may lose the woman I mentioned. She may not be patient enough, not that I blame her, to wait me out until I can permanently move there. I know for sure I don't want a woman with kids living at home in any capacity. To me, they are making me a priority over their children, which will cause problems I don't want, can simply be avoided by not dating them. They also must really want children, not maybe, not I'm not sure, but they really must want children. I don't want a woman who is having my child to make me happy. I want a woman who embraces the idea of raising them right. I also want one that wants to stay home and raise them. I don't want my kids raised by babysitter. I'm pretty traditional in that respect, and I'm willing to sacrifice my lifestyle to ensure my kids are raised right. I expect the same from my wife. So, she really has to want children. But yeah, I only date 1 woman at a time now. My profile gets attention from mostly women with kids. There is a lot of them. I'm just not interested. Yeah, I could be her stud, but I would never marry her, and I don't want that. Not officially divorced yet. If you read back, she disappeared for 5 months. She's doing it again. So, her and I talk a month ago and verbally talk about what is fair in the divorce. I take that information to my lawyer and he writes up the final draft and sends it to her lawyer. A month later, nothing. I call the lawyer and I speak with her. She says her lawyer hasn't reviewed it yet. My lawyer forwarded me an email that says he sent her a copy. A week before the lawyer spoke. The lawyer says he's waiting to hear from her. The conversation went bad with her. I called her lazy and asked if she wanted to still be married to me and why is she stalling. I informed her I was aware of her lying. She goes nuts, throws in a few cuss words and disappears. So now we have to go to court. I don't know what's going on with her. Is she just lazy? Or am I going to be blitzed with something? Totally avoidable bill I now have to pay to the lawyer. On a lighter note, I am officially moving to Virginia Beach, VA. I was just hired with a company there. Sweet, I moved my things out there last month, so I'm really ready to move on. My comment, that was the final update from OP. Seems like he is moving on while STBX is still dragging her feet. Things are going to get better for OP. Story 2. I have been with the same man for 7 years. We decided it was time for marriage. Well, not even 7 months into our marriage, he decided he was done and walked out. Drove 14 hours to his job where he has been living for almost 2 years. I am devastated, embarrassed, confused. I feel used and pathetic. I have used all my credit cards and credit limit to help him buy a logging truck rigging. We did buy some household goods on credit. I am now left with 4 children at home, a considerable amount of debt, no job at the moment, and no money. Rent and all the other bills are due and I am at a loss. He has children from his first marriage and he has yet to contact them and tell them. They keep asking me if everything is okay. No, it's not, but I feel it is his right to tell them, not me. I cry day in and day out wondering what I did to deserve him walking out on me, wondering if he will change his mind and say he made a mistake and wants to try. I am unable to eat either, which is okay cause there are not a lot of foods I can tolerate. So, I drink water all the time. I have called and texted him but he just won't answer me at all. I feel so pathetic. I don't know how to let him go and I don't know how to not call or text him. I am so sad and lonely. I have to be strong for my children. I have friends and family, but they have families of their own to take care of. My parents have offered for me to move into their basement, but with us 5 plus my parents and my grandma, I think space would be really tight. Unfortunately, I will be forced into bankruptcy, which is really embarrassing for me as the amount of debt is so great. Making minimum payments will take me at least 20 years to pay off. Then paying rent, utilities, insurance, groceries, school. I am not lazy and will be getting a job at S&P. I have had many surgeries in the past year and am left feeling tired after cleaning the house. I worked hard my whole life and built my credit on my own, and now it's devastating as well as embarrassing, and I am also furious, thinking I did something wrong. The 4 children are mine and he had 5 from his previous marriage. He is 8 years older than me, so his children are grown and on their own now, except the youngest one who is 18 and lives with her mom, but I have watched them grow the last 8 years into wonderful adults. Regardless, we were a family and I loved them as my own. I am going to try with everything in me not to text him or call. It won't be easy after constant communication the last 8 years. My heart starts racing when I think about never seeing him or being with him, something I guess I will slowly come to accept. My blood pressure should be high, but it's very low and heart rate high, go figure. I was up most of the night thinking about things. One conclusion or horrible thought I have come up with is he used me and my credit the last 7 years to get himself into a logging truck rigging. Let me explain. Well, apparently, he had 2 previous bankruptcy, which I only knew about one, so he had no credit, nothing. So needless to say, all my credit was used up. I was stupid, I guess. He works hard, and 1 year ago he took a job 12 hours away from home. He has an apartment and shop up there that he shares with others. He can walk away from all the debt as it is in my name, not his, and keep his truck. I don't want to believe that he would do something like this, but it is getting close to the end of the month, and with him not talking to me, I am left wondering, is he going to get the money to me like he said, or am I going to have to basically beg or borrow money from my parents? I feel so stupid and like I am one big screw-up. I love him with all my heart, but he has chosen to leave. My children and myself will be left without a home at the end of the month if he doesn't contact me. Well, time to get my children up for school. The debt was over the 7 years, but most in the last 2 years, as he and his friend decided he needed to buy his own truck. So, me not wanting that as we were already in debt did it not to cause a fight. I just found out that he has a driver he hired up there that has been working for him. News to me, and he is getting a service truck going and working for straight cash. He still hasn't called or texted, and he said he would. I am so torn between being furious with him and what he has done to defending him and wanting him back. It's wrong, I know, but I can't shut off my emotions for the last 7+ years. When I said my vows, I meant them, better or worse, sickness and in health, richer or poorer. I have horrific nightmares that he has passed away before I get to see him again, and that makes my heart ache tremendously. I don't want to be so negative, but I am hurt and angry and so scared of what is to happen to my children and myself. My friends say I am a strong person, yet I feel so weak and vulnerable, let down. I have panic attacks. I guess my heart is racing so bad and I am unable to breathe. I pray every day and night for God to show me where I am supposed to be and go. Well, he called and it was not very nice. He said I neglected him and put my children before him. He basically said it was all my fault that I never showed or told him how much I loved him ever. He says he loves me still but doesn't like me and is pissed with me and pissed with my children. I said maybe in time we could work this out. He said I don't know, I am pissed and I will be for a long time to come. I said I would give him time and he started yelling at me. I am taking all the time in the world as long as I want. So basically, he loves me but doesn't like me, doesn't want me around him, doesn't want me to move up there with him, and doesn't really want my children around. He said I hope the next guy you meet, because you have a lot to offer, doesn't get let down by you. Thanks. I gave 8 years to him and our lives together, stayed at home to raise the children, and I was wrong in doing that. When I met him, he had 4 of his 5 children living with him. All 4 of mine live with me. We dated but never really without the children. We were either at my home or his place. After about 4 months of dating, his oldest moved out. Another one didn't like living with him and moved in with their mom. So, then there was 2. Well, I never really wanted to live with anyone again for a while. It took him about a year to convince me, but it was short-lived as I really wasn't ready. After that he was there all the time, but we kept separate addresses. To this day he still has a separate address on his license. He was very upset that I never changed my last name right away and basically made me feel like dirt. We misplaced the marriage certificate and it took me a while to get a new one. My mistake, my fault, just one more thing I did wrong. He said he wouldn't leave me high and dry like my other ex did, but that's exactly what he did. Emotionally. He says he has no choice but to send his check to me until he can get to a bank up there and start a new account. He told me don't screw him over and leave him with no money. After all this time together, he thinks that of me. I was a waste of his time for the last 8 years of his life. A lawyer would be good, but unfortunately with all my credit cards basically maxed, that is not a possibility. I believe where we live you can do a separation agreement and have to wait a year before a divorce will be granted. The only way that is faster is if he admitted to an affair. I was a stay-at-home mom, as he said no wife of mine will have to work. I will work 2 jobs if I have to, so believing him I haven't worked for 2+ years. I ran a convenience store and I was an apartment manager as well. So, I do have skills and I did go back to school, but after meeting him he really didn't want me to pursue it. My mistake. I now have to find a job or see if I can be funded to go back to school. Kind of embarrassing. Oh well, life. I am sick over this whole thing too. If there were no children involved, I might be a bit better at dealing with this all. There are 9 altogether and 5 grandchildren and 3 more on the way. I was there for each of their births and have been grandma to them. I am 8 years younger than him, so being a grandma at a young age was cool. My children still have at least 8 to 10 years before they will even think of getting married or having children. A stepmom to them as well, to most. I honestly don't know what I am going to do. I have looked at all the rental places available in my price range, no money, and the only ones I can come up with are down in a very bad part of town. I wouldn't feel safe there at all. I don't want to believe it, but I think he has someone else up there. Unfortunately, our bank accounts are linked and I see purchases he makes. I have to make sure there is money in the account for my one child's orthopedics payment to come out. I don't want to believe that he is cheating, but in the past before me he did on his ex-wife and other girlfriends. So, I have to question how long this has been going on, and was I so stupid not to see it? Well, he does live up there without me and he says he is lonely all the time. Ideal hands. It makes my heart race thinking of him with someone else and I am heartbroken all over again. I have spoken to the bank and since the credit line and credit cards are in my name and some of the payments come out of my account automatically, it is my debt. The truck he now has free and clear up there. He must be very smart and me very stupid as he said we would just put the truck into his name and change it later to both of us. For insurance purposes. He is now making a crap load of money up there and spending it like water. For some reason he thinks he is rich. My children are so mad at him, understandable, yet they take it out on me. He sent his children a message telling them he would explain things later, but didn't say what he had to explain. I am the one who has to face everyone here while he hides away up there. I can't believe I was that dumb over the years. Maybe I was blinded by love that was never really there. Saw me coming a mile away, sucker. I know I need to get mad in a way and do what it takes to move on. I said I was giving my notice and he said no, stay put till I can finish up here and then we will see where we can find a safe place for you and the kids. Why would I wait around a month or more for you to finish up? I have basically been smart to him, which gets him madder. I try not to engage. He keeps texting that the check will be in bank. It still hasn't gone in. Then he sent a text saying oh it was brought to Bush. I said oh, good, now you don't have to worry about it, be deposited and me screwing you over and taking it all. He replied if I thought that I would have closed the account. Yeah right, I never was vindictive in my first divorce. He told me ask for everything and let the judge decide. I was always fair. I thought about what the children needed, not me and not him. I am waiting on a call back from a lawyer. I could call every lawyer in town and when he goes to get one, he can't cause there would be a conflict of interest. I would never do that. It's not me at all. I have good days and bad days. I know the good will eventually outnumber the bad. I get mad when I am here at night and in my mind, I call him every name I can think of. It's pretty pathetic as I try not to swear around the boys. They hear worse at school. Anyways, the boys are not too broke up about this. For whatever reason they think I will be better off. Makes me wonder, was I the only one that loved him? I become resigned to the fact maybe I did make a mistake. He chose to leave me. I did everything I could, which was never good enough. Well, he called again and I know. Why did I answer? Stupidity, hope. Anyways, when he called, he started off nicely again. Bam, the yelling started. He got his check from the guy from the Bush and it was late, blah blah blah. He was at the bank now seeing if he was able to deposit it and transfer money right away. He said I will send you a picture of the check so you don't think I am screwing you. And then it turned into more yelling cause we are paying $180 for TV, internet and nothing on. And I haven't taken in his file box of papers to the accountant yet. He is lonely and his tires are bad and this and that. Went on for 20 minutes or so. My children heard him as my son was driving to school. Then he started to cry, get mad again, then started to swear, then said well I need to go at bank. Wow, what a lovely way to start off my birthday. Oh well, my oldest has night class at the college. He won't be here for my B-day dinner. My youngest goes to his dad's. He won't be here and the other two are going out with friends. I only want to talk to him for the sake of finding out about bills. I realize that I need to get it together. My mom started a bank account for me in her name so I can put small amounts of money in there when I am able to. I have applied at several places but no calls as of yet. I have not found any place as of yet, so I am unable to give notice. So, I will have to wait till next month and hopefully there will be something. I have my first counseling appointment March 8th, so not right away but soon. My youngest son was in here tonight doing homework and he started laughing over the silliest thing. Of course he laughs, then I laugh, then he lost it. I have contacted a lawyer but April 2nd is the earliest I am able to get in. I am going to be asking for anything and everything. He told me with my first ex, ask for everything you can. I never did. Was trying to be fair. Now I am mad, pissed off. I am not a vindictive person but he has hurt me and my children. He won't even talk to the boys anymore. Cut off all communication. Big man. I called the accountant and told them we were married in May but he has been with someone else. I can't say for sure how long he has been with this person but... And he said no worries, I will put separated as of December 31st. That way he can't claim me or the boys for tax purposes. His tax bracket will go way up because he will have no one to write off. I am going to ask for at least $7,000 a month or more, see what the lawyer says. The bills we have add up to $52,000 a month, and I do not want to wait 20 years to have the credit cards paid off. I will ask for 50% of what his logging truck makes as well. I know I may not get it, but hey, he told me a long time ago if my first ex had to live in a cardboard box and eat dirt, that's what will happen as long as the boys and myself were taken care of. His words coming back to haunt him. For some reason he keeps texting me, no I don't answer, and asking if I am doing okay, have enough for bills, got groceries, and if I am eating and taking care of myself. Like he cares. He calls and calls, finally I answer and it's hey, everything all right? I have been sending you messages and calling and no answer. I say yup. Then he goes into a long speech about how sorry he is for hurting me but I took him for granted all these years. He just wants me to get the paperwork together so he can divorce me and marry his one true love, the one who showed him what love truly is and what it means to be respected and loved for and truly cared for. He then went on to say that there may not be enough money at the end of the month to pay bills, so I should hold off on paying some right now. He has spent about $2,000 in 2 days and I haven't spent a cent. I bought basic groceries for the boys, that's it. I believe he is drinking, either that or the woman he is with is a big-time drinker, cause in 4 days he has spent over $200 on liquor. He wants me to feel sorry for him because he has to work so much and his health is not good. I don't give a crap about him or his health. I am doing what I need to for my children and myself. Every day I am stronger. I am still hurt and it feels like a nightmare, but it's real life and I am able to face it head on. Not backing down or bowing down to him anymore. Will not be yelled at by him anymore or bullied or manipulated by him either. I am done with all his bull crap and lies. Final update. Things are going so much better. I am happier than I have been in a long, long time. I believe now the best things was him leaving. Otherwise, I would be in a marriage that was hurting me. I am still looking for work and a place, but I have a much better look at things. My comment just wanted to provide a good ending from a woman's perspective for other viewers out there. Hope you enjoyed both stories, and I will prepare another series really soon.